Good morning, everyone. On the protocol established, I want to start off by saying that, and it was alluded to by P.S. Isaac, that we have so many documents that everything is already exists, everything already said. So we have the CARICOM 2025 to 2025. We have the National Strategic Plan. We have National Agricultural Strategic Plan. So we have a number of documents already existing that says almost everything. So probably what is different here, probably it's a different face you are seeing, speaking to the issues and the challenges. And our culturalist, Derek said, we can't build with speeches and slogans and with documents filled with ideas. I want to add this. But we have to build by putting into action what the slogans and the speeches and the documents we have on the shelves are saying. So with that, I just want to, start by assessing some of the challenges, and these are things that we already know exist. A lot of the challenges that the agricultural sector faces. And just to remind us a little, and those are information that comes from already existing documents, as I alluded to. So we're talking about things like the poor infrastructure, in the impact to this, like things like access to lands, etc. The lack of investment in value addition, addressing issues with credit and financing. We have our local consumption patterns. And I just draw on these to zero in on the factor as to why there is a need for investing, why there is a need for bringing a business investment package in the agricultural industry. So Grenada is primarily small farm oriented. And I want to stop here to interject a quote from a farmer that I usually interact with on a regular basis, David Clark. Everybody in the farming would know him as son. He said, Miss, whenever you get a chance to speak to an audience, say to them for me, 2024 and beyond, we have to focus on food and nutrition, and they have to invest in us. We are the ones that are growing, and we are the ones that are to propel it. So please tell them for us, invest in us. So we need to reduce our food importation bill, and the sector must realize its true potential. Agriculture is strategically poised to be the leading sector, to be the leading industry. As for now, we are behind tourism, we are behind construction. But we made a great contribution in terms of the employment sector, and we make a contribution towards the GDP. But we are not leading, but we are strategically poised to lead. So here, the business investment package and the need to create an enabling environment. Therefore, where do we invest? We invest in education, we invest in extension, and I have a passion for agricultural extension because I believe that extension is that link between research and applied agriculture. So we need to invest in extension. So there's a high need for investment in trained specialists so that sector would lead and take its rightful place. Public awareness, changing our hearts and minds towards local consumption. So we have our Juve. Only yesterday I was speaking to an individual that said, I still like my Milo, but we have Juve that could actually lead in the position on our local market. So the enabling environment, we have to address issues in labor. So labor is a challenge. Investment is needed in labor. Hear me. We export labor. Every time we have local persons being exported to work on farms outside of Grenada. Why not invest in labor, make it attractive that we keep the persons we export for labor or we import labor too. We make it so attractive that we can address that issue. So investment in the policy nexus, Policies on the macro level, so we're talking regional and national. We have this already existing in the CARICOM 2020 to 25. They have outlined the strategy. We're talking about micro-level policies, meso-level policies, policies that would guide the volume of domestic consumption. Investment in the existing strengths. So traditional export crops we have a strength in that, but it must reach the higher end of the value chain. So we're talking about investing in our value chain. Our areas of potential need to take lead, research and technology. Which subsectors, as it currently exists, has the greatest potential to take the lead? Let us narrow in and zero in. We saw in the digital presentation here, the cassava. What can cassava replace as it relates to our importation bill? Importation says that we consume 70% of our food is what is imported, 30% is what is produced locally. So I want to end by saying, we must undergird the entire food system from farm to plate and identify what would significantly impact that model, that business model of investment. Research and development, technology, labor, addressing the issue of predial larceny, substantial practices like tackling issues of climate change and so. So I say this to say that an investment model must encompass an entire agricultural food system. Thank you.